Hi everyone, I'm Amy Lee Miller, and this video is about the importance of getting curious. I've always been very curious by nature and just had this need for a deeper understanding about people and about things, so I seek it out. And what I've learned is that being curious is also a great problem solver. So I'm going to give you guys some examples. We'll talk about it. But I did want to say first to please don't be shy. If you have a comment, please leave it. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a question or a topic that you'd like for me to speak on, if I feel like I have something to offer, I'll do it. If you have a problem in your life or a challenge, or better yet, an opportunity, first of all, congratulations, because that's a sign that your life needs to change and it's about to get better. And by admitting to yourself, being honest with yourself that there's something that you're not happy about that you want to change, guess what? That makes you the catalyst for change in your life. I've always liked the word catalyst because it sounds and feels like power, and you have it in you, and power creates momentum, and that's exciting. Think about it. If we're always content with where we are, we're going to stay right where we are. So often, and greater happiness stems from something bothering us, kind of like I think of a grain of sand in an oyster shell that turns into a beautiful pearl. When there's something agitating us, it's a sign that we need to do something about it. I have solved many challenges in my life by getting curious. Big ones and little ones, from career and financial progression to overall health and overall happiness. So I'm going to give you guys some examples. One of the biggest ones for me was overcoming anxiety and panic attacks, which I do talk about in other videos. So this was a big problem and really affected me in my younger years and escalated one day to the point where I was afraid to go out in public. So that's a pretty big deal. I had a big problem I needed to fix. So I got curious. I started talking to people, researching. My parents, doctors, and they weren't really able to help that much. Sometimes we have to go deeper and solve the problem on our own. And it's those times when we learn just how powerful we are. Anyway, in my quest, I kept searching and searching, and eventually the path to heal myself showed up for me through a person that showed me a new way of thinking and also recommended a book to help solidify that way of thinking. So I was then able to overcome my anxiety. But it started with saying, hey, I got a problem here, and then, all right, now let me get curious about how I'm going to fix it. Okay, so health and fitness have always been very important to me, and by getting curious, I have solved at least what I can think of 5 off of the top of my head, health issues that I have had by getting curious. So one was, I talk about in other videos, total body inflammation. And if you've never experienced that, imagine you go to sleep one night, you wake up the next morning, and you're 2 or 3 sizes bigger and none of your clothes fit. This would happen to me, and I didn't know what was going on, intermittently for a period of 6 years. So I got curious. I went to doctors, I asked around, I researched, I read, I tried different things, until finally I got connected with an Eastern medicine practitioner who helped me figure out what was going on and solve the problem through nutrition. So it was much, much better. Another thing was my weight, which I have struggled with. Never anything out of hand. However, I wasn't quite comfortable at the weight I was at, and I couldn't get down to exactly where I wanted to be. So I tried different things. I asked around, I got curious, and ultimately I got connected with the right information and the right people who helped me to figure out what worked for me, which I do talk about in another video, but I will share the short details here because I think it's so important and I want everybody to feel good. One, eat enough protein. Figure out how much protein you need for your body and eat it. Same thing with fiber. Eat enough fiber. And if you notice you don't feel good when you eat certain foods, eliminate it from your diet and see how you feel. Little tiny things, but by getting curious about anything that's bothering you and figuring it out, it helps tremendously. So even if you have a stomach ache, that's an example of a problem. Well, get curious about what's causing it, and then you can fix it, and then you feel 100 times better. Okay, so another little example. Not that long ago, I went to a professional photographer. I wanted to get some professional shots taken, and she was very nice, but she was not professional. And she recommended that I pay and use her makeup artist, who actually ended up being a drag queen, and so I looked like a drag queen. So needless to say, I was not happy with the photos. I did complain and I got my money back because we don't get what we don't ask for. So unfortunately I could not get my time back. So I had a problem, a little problem, but it was still a problem. I wanted camera ready makeup and I didn't know how to do it. So what did I do? I got curious. Simple. I got on YouTube, I researched, I found a couple of videos that worked well for me, and now I can do my own makeup, camera ready, super easy. It takes like 10 minutes and I look like myself. So just little teeny tiny things like that can so improve our overall happiness. A couple other tiny examples really quick. So about a year and a half ago, I was in a workout rut. Tiny problem, but it's a problem. I felt grumpy, I felt bored. So I got curious. I asked around, I researched, and I ended up finding this really awesome workout class in my neighborhood. And now I've been going for over a year. And just a couple weeks ago, I made a new friend in the class. And you know when you meet somebody and you're just really in sync and you're like, wow, we're gonna be friends for a lifetime. That's what it feels like. So she's cool and I'm excited to hang out with her. But that never would have happened if I didn't first admit to myself a year and a half ago, I'm feeling blah, what can I do about this? And then get curious. Okay, so enough examples. This video is more about you and recognizing, understanding that by first admitting that there's something that's bugging you, then congratulating yourself, because what that means is it's time for something better for you. If we're always content with where we are, then we're going to stay right where we are. So problems are a good thing because they can push us further and in our lives and onto happier and better things. If you be honest with yourself, speak it out, whatever the problem is, say it. What is bugging you? Then congratulate yourself because your life is about to change. Then get curious and see what comes up. So go be curious. I'm Amy Lee Miller. Yes, you can.